Hear ye. Hate is now in session. You are now rocking with the finest, the most luxurious, the most notorious, the most scrumptious haters you ever seen in your life. And we are back in this Black History Month, man. We're going to start with Palm.
Yo, what's goody, man? It's your boy Palm, a.k.a. Today I'm Steve Harvey.
That's a good one.
Yo, it's your boy Smith. My hater name is going to be Kevin Knox's eyebrows.
Okay.
Them shit's wrong.
G4 Colson, and my hater name is just gonna be No Integrity.
Oh, I like it. I like it. And today we got a guest with us, a good friend of mine, a very intelligent brother, somebody who brings a different perspective to the conversation. And we thought it would be dope to get his perspective today in this conversation. I'm going to let him introduce himself. What's going on, brother?
Hey, what's up, man? How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. Tell the people who you are.
I'm many things. In the professional world, I'm a startup advisor. I'm a co-founder of 3 software application companies.
Shit.
One of them's a Bitcoin company, one of them's a media company, and the other one's a utility for Twitter. That's Coinbits app, Jiffitize, and altspike.com.
Mm-hmm.
And on the side, I do consulting, I teach people marketing, I teach people branding, I teach all of the startup stuff, right? All the things you need to know to, basically get your startup off the ground, launched, or moving through the different phases to get yourself ready for some sort of, investment, whether it's like a Series A or whatever.
Mm.
So that's like professional life. Personal life, I love to read, I love to play chess. Pretty much what I'm doing in my free time. I'm a father, I got 3 kids. And Hotep, Hotep Nation, I'm somebody who's very vocal as far as things are concerned in, I guess you want to say, the social atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a writer, I published a book. So, I got my hat in many different rings, but I think I can be classified as maybe 2 things. It's kind of like, one is philosopher, and then the other one is sort of just a writer. That's just my gift.
Right.
Okay, that's dope.
Right.
And can you put a name to the voice so the people would know?
Oh, the name is Hotep Jesus.
Let's get it.
Man, check me out. All you gotta do is just, go on YouTube, type in Hotep, Hotep, Jesus, and I pop right up. I'm all over the place. So yeah, just check me out, man.
For sure, man. And it's been a wild week, man.
Yeah, it's been a pretty
It's
wild.
been a crazy week.
It's been all over the place, man.
A lot of people's morals being put on the. A lot of people putting their morals all up in the air and shit.
You know
like
what I'm
that.
saying? Depending on the situation.
I guess, man, depending on how much bread we talking.
So, first thing that popped up was Steve Harvey and Monique was having a conversation. And basically, Monique was talking about, maintaining integrity and, not putting money before the integrity. And Steve was saying, well, I got a family. I got grandkids and all of that. You know what I mean? So, sometimes you gotta shut up in order to get the bag.
He was like, it's not a black and white game, it's a money game.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yo, that conversation crazy because every time somebody say some shit like that, I just be like, so this is like the absolute only place you can make $1?
yeah.
That's what they think. The white dollar is the most absolute dollar, so that's why.
I mean, and the conversation ended up going into another conversation about money over integrity. That's what integrity over money. That's what they were saying, for a little bit. And I agreed.
Yeah.
But I shut my mouth because I know people be lying like a motherfucker. So I just watched it go on for like 2 days.
They didn't even take long too. It was like,
yo,
that Kaepernick shit happened. How much? Like yesterday.
Yeah.
Within like it was like minutes, and they were just like, yeah, Cap, get they bread. Yeah. Sign that non-disclosure agreement so they can't say nothing about it.
All right, but let's tell the story, right? Let's tell the story. So after that, you know what I'm saying, they started calling him a coon after the conversation that you don't have to sell out for the bag or whatever the case may be. 2 days later, the news comes out that Kaepernick accepts a settlement from the NFL.
Yep.
And he gets what, 120 million?
Oh, the numbers ain't out there yet, but I'm pretty sure it's something. I seen a couple people say some kind of numbers.
Yeah.
And the numbers wasn't a lot.
Oh, that's not a lot. 120 million is a lot?
I don't think it's a lot. I don't think it's a lot for what's at stake.
Oh, okay. I got you. All right. So in the non-disclosure agreement includes.
I mean, when you settle, I'm not really that astute in those spheres, but I'm pretty sure usually when you agree to settlements and shit like that, there's non-disclosure agreements and you got to be quiet shits and shit like that.
Yeah. So I think the NFL admits no wrongdoings and he can't speak on.
Basically, yeah, they gave the bread to him and another guy.
Eric Reed
basically said, "We're giving you this money. This is a settlement outside of court, but you cannot speak on this any further.
Yeah,
like do not speak on this anymore. We gave you the money. Look, you got it. Now get the fuck out of our face. Never talk about it.
Never talk about it. So the NFL admits no wrongdoings. They get paid. We move on. So there was two sides. It was a get the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the bag. Then the other side was like, well, this is kind of questionable here because, now you can't speak on the injustices that the NFL's committed against you. And you can't tell nobody else. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and people are praising this one. And they're saying Steve Harvey's a coon. Now, the funny part about this is Steve Harvey they're just having a conversation.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like, did nothing actually happen.
He just said how he felt.
What he said and how he felt.
Yeah.
Kaepernick actually accepted money in order to not speak on.
He accepted basically hush money.
He took hush money.
He took hush money.
Right?
So my thing with that whole thing is like the second that I seen that he took the settlement money, I was like, this is so you just want the bag and shut the fuck up.
That's what I took it as.
Really,
I want to hear Bob. I want to hear what Hotep got to say.
Let's hear how you feel about this whole Kaepernick situation.
Y'all gotta keep going. I'm liking what I'm hearing.
All right, but basically,
everything y'all saying is everything I've been thinking.
So basically, it's like this whole situation is about them colluding against you for you wanting to stand up for the rights of black people to not get slaughtered by the people that's supposed to so-called protect us.
Right.
Honestly, his initial reason for kneeling was because the third verse of the national anthem calls for black people to be caught and killed.
Yeah. Okay.
They literally talk about us like slaves in the national anthem.
Right.
So he felt a way about standing for this every Sunday when that's what it is. Most people, when he initially brought this to the table, most people do not know that.
Right.
A lot of people in the world do not know that is in the national anthem because people hear the first verse and that's it.
Right.
People, that's like the only part they sing. Yeah, you feel me? So he brought that to the table, and that was what he was really like. That was his real fight. He brought in the police brutality, and that was all a part of the fight. But that was the initial fight. Like, I don't want to stand for this. I feel him. I just feel like everything he did after that was just like, even though a lot of us got behind it, now that I see it was a show.
Right.
It wasn't really for the game because they literally colluded to keep you out the game. You signing an agreement so that can't be spoken about. So and they're gonna do that to somebody else.
You're still not in the game. So that, like, my whole issue with this thing is again, I'm gonna use what Palm used earlier. I'm not astute in the spheres of these things, right. But I know enough. Like, I have enough brain power to know that if you can come to me, if I come to you like, yo, you stole my shit, or yo, you did this to me, give me this much bread, or I'm taking you to court, and then you like, yo, player, come here, let me give you some money on the side. Just never talk about this again. I feel like I have a chance to win that.
Right.
So
also,
instead, go ahead.
Y'all been hearing me argue about people not being real about the racism of all the major sports leagues for weeks. And we treat the NBA like they are this fucking ball of fucking hope and fucking togetherness and shit, when it's all of these niggas. They all are like that. The NFL has always been like this. So, like, for the national anthem thing to just come about and that brings about all of this was always hella weird to me. Yeah. Because Colin Kaepernick himself, while being a starting quarterback, was questioned crazily about things that they didn't question other bad white quarterbacks about.
No, that's a fact.
So you been seeing that racism, bro. You just, I don't know. That looked like...
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, it was...
Colin Kaepernick black?
He's half.
He's half. He's mixed.
Have we verified that? Have we seen his parents? Because he's adopted, right?
Yeah, he is adopted. So we actually haven't seen... I've never seen his parents.
We verified his melanin content?
I don't think so.
I've never seen his real parents. I've never seen his real parents. I've just seen his adopted family.
This is the Obama birth papers.
He was adopted by white people.
Yeah.
He was raised by white people.
Yeah, I saw when he dressed up like he was Black Panther.
Yeah.
Like he was a Black Panther with the leather.
Yeah.
That's when niggas should have knew it was a show right then and there.
Yo, that's absolutely correct.
Afro all picked out. He never had his afro picked out.
Never. He never. That wasn't a hairstyle before.
Now he got an afro. Like, that's when you knew it was some rigmarole. But my thing is with the sports is, I peeped a while back that all these sports are racist, and I just always looked at it like, in hockey, if you get into a fight, you sit down for 3 to 5 minutes, whatever the penalty is, you come right back into the game. If you in baseball and you want to yell at the ref, kick dirt on the ref, it's cool. They might throw you out, but it's like part of the game. Yeah. You have an NBA player talk back to the ref, it's like, oh, it's the end of the world. He's unprofessional. Then you look at football. If they have a fight, football is nothing but contact. That should be the first sport where you expect a fight to happen. You fight in football and it's a problem. You have people celebrating, now they got to call. They got to call that a penalty because they're scared that the play going to get bigger than the game. They scared that the gladiator going to get bigger than the arena. And that's how Chad Johnson got treated. That's how Randy Moss got treated, and that's how Terrell Owens got treated. This is what happens when you those type of athletes that just become, so magnetized. Deion Sanders went that way, but he kind of played it a little bit different.
Yeah.
But sports has always been racist, in my opinion. I had called for a boycott right when Mike Brown died. I was like, yo, it's time to divest completely from this European system. And we need to start. I told people back then, they was like, so where should we start? I was like, we need to divest from the NFL because America runs off the NFL.
Yep.
If it's not for the NFL, then if it's not for the NFL and the news, then TV doesn't get no burn because all of your favorite TV shows are advertised during sports or during the news. So that's how you even know what programming is coming up because they advertise during these big media things.
Yep.
So when you start seeing those patterns, you got to understand and say, yo, look, maybe we need to pull back from these systems and build our own system. But when I said that, everybody's like, oh, you wild and you crazy. I'm like, all right, no doubt, bet. Then fast forward, here we are with the Colin Kaepernick. I'm like, see, look at y'all. Y'all like just, it's like we don't get it. We see nepotism all around us and still don't get it.
Yeah. It's a conversation that just goes over our heads. Like we ain't see a leader in so long that we just willing to accept crumbs. You get what I'm saying? Because like, ain't no way like because people were saying, well, you know, it's dope, he's one of our black leaders, he gets paid. How come activists can't get paid? And it's like, activists can get paid, but an activist is always supposed to speak the truth.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word. You get what I'm saying? There was never a time where Malcolm X or Martin Luther King or Kwame Ture or Huey Newton and them had an adversary in the system, and they said, all right, hold on, Black Panthers. Look, we'll give y'all some money. Don't talk about us no more. And that's not something that's in the history books in the lanes of activism.
My enemy,
you get what I'm saying?
My enemy cannot pay me to get my foot out their ass.
Right.
And I kept the thing I kept telling people, because there was a lot of people like combating me when I was saying I'm side-eyeing Colin Kaepernick for taking the settlement when he could have just kept fighting and won.
Right.
I basically kept telling people, like, so I feel like that's him not looking out for the future NFL players who also would want to take a stand when they feel like they're being treated like shit. Like, we know how racist all sports can be, how much niggas go through. Like,
this was deeper than rap.
Like, that's what I'm saying.
You know,
so it's just like there's a bunch of young kids looking up to you. They see you doing all the things that you're doing, and now they see you take that bread. It's been deeper
since forever. That's why I've been arguing this shit for weeks, because it never made sense. Bro, black men could not be quarterbacks. Do you know how simple it is to be a fucking quarterback? People really make that shit seem like it's some complex ass thing. Bro, all you gotta do is remember how shit look. Black men, they said black men weren't smart enough to do that for decades, ages. I can think about 10 niggas right now that's wide receivers that used to be quarterbacks in college, but you know them as a wide receiver or fucking some other random position.
I mean, it's just that him just taking the bread and taking the settlement is, like I said, like the kids will see it, and if they playing football and they was like, fuck it, I'm gonna speak out for all injustice and shit and wrong shit that I see in football. Now he takes the bread and he shuts the fuck up and he's like chilling, even though he might help here and there. Yeah. But he did shut up now. Now he can't speak on it. And now it's just like, if you're a young impressionable person, you're gonna see that and be like, oh, I guess if the bread is honestly, right, I could just sell the integrity.
He really just helped the NFL position themselves to the next time they want to blackball somebody, it's going to be easier. Yeah. Because they made the rule. Now they got the ruling, so you can't even kneel for the thing or nothing. Yeah. So, if like any way you want to try to protest, like the next person that tries to do this, they're going to be gone swiftly and mad quick.
Out of here.
All because Kaepernick folded. And because what would have came out in court would have been
deeper than rap, nigga.
It would have been damning. It would have been hurt. It would have some of the top fucking owners in that league was conspiring against that man and Eric Reed. Eric Reed only got a job because he's really still good. He can play the game. That's the only reason why he got a job last year. But they top owners in the league. I'm talking Jerry Jones. I'm talking Robert Kraft. I'm talking fucking the Maras, the Rooneys. Yeah, dumb people. People would have been looking at them real funny.
How you feel about this?
Come again?
I said, how do you feel about this?
I mean, dude was fraudulent from the start. When I seen, remember when he was giving away $1 million? Yeah. $1 million or something like that? So they launched that, and then they had a website for the initiative. So I took the time out, I think maybe like 15, 20 minutes I spent. It didn't take long. And I went down one by one to see the heads of the organizations that he was giving money to. 15,000 here, 30,000 there. You know what I mean? Man, I went through a bunch of pages, man, and every time I looked at the faces of these people, none of these faces represented our community. So and they do this with charities all the time. That's why when people say, oh, they did some sort of charitable thing, I'm just like, that needs to be audited before we can, give them props, because sometimes that's just moving money around.
That's a fact.
Big fact.
That's a fact, yo. That's a fucking fact. Yo.
So when I did my own little audit on him, I was just like, man, none of this shit add up. I'm like, yo, I'm not feeling this. I ain't like the way he spun it, you know, like with the whole Black Panther thing. Like you don't do that. Like, you was never a Black Panther. You wasn't there during that time. You can't fill them shoes. You don't perpetrate like that. You know what I mean? And if you did, you should have had the real Black Panthers out there with you. You out there with a bunch of kids and whatnot. Like, you the leader of the next generation or some shit.
Yeah,
he ain't the leader.
He wasn't even
then
that
he goes
good
and
of a
pulls
quarterback.
to Steve Harvey, money over integrity. He's whack.
It was very, very fucking trash.
But that's the deeper argument, man. Niggas got a price.
Yeah.
Like, how you got a price when it comes to like this?
This, right?
This is. I can't have a price.
Our future.
I can't have a price when it comes
putting
to
a price on our future that
Look
can literally
at the Nike deal, right?
Yep.
The Nike deal, and they shot that commercial with Kaepernick. Kaepernick said the issue with the NFL was police brutality, right? Police brutality. He wanted to have that highlighted and recognized, and everybody complained that the narrative got spun away from that. Well, what was the Nike ad about? The Nike ad was about some dude that wants to be a cheerleader and some chick that wants to play football. But no mention of Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown or Tamir Rice, Sean Garner, any one of the black bodies that got killed by police. Where were they in that Nike commercial? That was your opportunity to say, yo, here we're going to highlight this. And Nike didn't highlight it. They used Kaepernick to highlight all these other social justice initiatives. A lot of LGBT social justice initiatives.
The Obama initiative.
Right? But they didn't talk about that police brutality. And that was another indication that let me know he's fraudulent.
Yup. The Nike ad, like, I was with it. I was one of the people gung ho. I'm like, you know what? Let's rock. He ain't do nothing bad to me yet. I'm a roll with everybody. Let's see. But the Nike ad came. When you put activism with branding, you already put a price on activism.
Yeah.
So from there, we should have seen that he was willing to accept some kind of payment. And then you gotta look at it.
Nick, when that came out, we found out in the same time that Nike been paying him all along.
Yeah, exactly. So, and then when you, like, people don't do their due diligence, right? So they say, okay, look, but Nike was funding Kaepernick. Nike was also funding the NFL. Nike is also in business in bed with the NFL. So they got their hands in both pots. What we saying, that what they doing is putting the show on for the people to make it look like this is activism at its highest form, and this is what you should aspire to make it look like grassroots activism is insane. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the bigger play here.
It's like 60 seconds. They bought our hearts with 60 seconds. A fucking 60-second clip. People are like, oh yeah, fuck 60 fucking seconds, Joe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Also, they got us because like shit like that don't affect Nike.
It don't.
Nike been like one of those like forward companies that like they don't give a fuck about shit like that. As soon as Mike Vick got released from prison, them niggas picked him right back up.
Yeah.
Even
They
though
Teflon, Nike Teflon.
they don't care about shit like that. They were like, nobody's
They're
gonna.
just gonna
you
make,
can't take no
and they're
else.
also gonna make bread off of it. So at the end of the day, buy my shoes.
I got on Nikes right now.
That's why like everybody like bigging them up for it and shit like that. I was like, I ain't really think that crazy of it because I was just like, this is not a surprise to me. Nike's just involving themselves in something that ain't have nothing to do with them before, and it's gonna get them more sales.
That's a fact. That's a fucking fact.
I guess I respect the one thing I can't respect though is that he's feeding his family. Like I do respect that shit.
Yo,
that
listen.
sentiment don't like it. Literally doesn't mean that much.
You heard Steve, man. He
Man,
got people
it's
relying.
just the
He got people
integrity.
relying on him.
Yeah, but even then, that integrity goes too long of a way, man. That's not sending the like right message to your kids and to like the kids of the future and to like even people now who are trying to make decisions within the community, because that literally means that everything within our community has a price. When that price is met, then we can just give it away, and we shouldn't be sending that message out just regularly.
You know what's mad funny? There's a clip going around on the timeline of Steve Harvey telling a joke years ago that he will sell out.
Oh yeah, he knew.
And I was like, oh wow, this is funny, because he was like he really told niggas. Like, niggas thought this was a joke. He was dead ass serious. He was not joking.
I hated Steve Harvey since high school, man.
I never thought Steve Harvey was funny.
Nigga, son.
I never thought Steve Harvey.
I never fucked with Steve Harvey. Something about this nigga. I don't think it might have been his face. I used to watch the Steve Harvey show, and he was dead ass my least favorite character, and his name after him. Son.
I fuck with Steve, man.
I never really fucked with Steve Harvey, man. And then he came out with that book.
That book,
Steve Harvey been trying to destroy the black man for years. For years, he's been trying to do this. That book put niggas through that book gave niggas like a year of women doing mad bullshit until they really realized I'm taking advice from Steve Harvey. He don't know what the fuck he talking about.
Everyone like his third wife.
This is what I'm trying to say. They had to realize that. Like, men had to. I watched men on Twitter have to explain that to women, and then they slowly realized, like, oh shit, I really was I'm an idiot. Yes, you're bugging. Steve Harvey is not the nigga to be taking advice from about love.
Yo, the best thing Steve Harvey ever brought to the world is nephew Tommy.
Yeah.
That nigga is funny.
I want to know who made him a king of comedy. Like, who put him. He
just so happened to be in a movie named it. That's it.
But I'm saying, how did he get there on that tour? Because him and D.L. Hughley should not have been there.
Bernie Mac said he worked with him before.
The other people probably said no.
No, he said Bernie Mac said he worked with him before, and then he was like that. Steve asked to be on it, and Bernie Mac was like, I guess whatever. And then they put him down, and then Bernie Mac found out later that Steve will go to like the producers and shit and be like, "Yo, you should take Bernie off the show. Like, he's not the style of like the show. You should take Bernie off."
Word?
Yeah, I see. I read a little snippet of an article a couple days ago where Bernie Mac was real, like talking like that nigga Steve been a fuck nigga.
Yeah. You seen him standing next to Trump? That nigga was like, "Yeah, this my man." Listen, I ain't got no problem with niggas standing next to Trump, so I wasn't mad at Steve for that. But I mean, I guess there was breadcrumbs.
Yeah, man. Can't leave the bread.
Yeah, you can't leave the bread, man. Yo, but my man Hotep Jesus, we got some questions for you, brother.
Alright.
You know, Hotep actually right now is just a pejorative. It's just an insult. That's what people.
It's like cisgender. Black male, like cisgender black male, Hotep. Like, there's a few things that's a diss. Yeah. That even though like that shit just means.
But
something.
I actually read before that it was actually a positive word.
Yeah, right. It means peace, right?
This is an ancient beef. This beef ain't new.
Yeah.
This beef, this is as old as Booker T versus W.E.B. Du Bois. This is, Marcus Garvey versus the NAACP.
Right.
It's always been that right wing, left wing in the black community. Mm-hmm. And both of these were well-to-do blacks. Just one had a certain style, another one had another style. The style that likes to work with the NAACP is of the Steve Harvey variety.
Right. Right.
It's those type of cats that we dealing with. So they'll sell out the movement for a few bucks. Hotep became a pejorative because we were that self-sufficient, right? So when Mike Brown and them died, and I said, "Yo, we should divest from the NFL because America runs the NFL, and then without us, there ain't no NFL." And we could just basically shut the entire country down in like one Sunday. And we basically could hold the country ransom. And everybody's like, "Shut up, you Ashley Hotep." And I'm like, "Yo, I'm talking about dollars right now." I'm not talking about no money right now. We go hold them ransom right now and get some reparation money real quick. Right. For, cats don't want to mobilize. But what was the question again?
I was gonna say basically that was it. Like I wanted to get into like what Hotep actually.
Well, all right, so let's talk about the definition of Hotep. Definition of Hotep means peace, right?
Right.
To be at rest, or Shaka Agmos would say satisfaction. Mm-hmm. That's how he taught it to me. That's what the word actually means in ancient Medu Neter language. For us, Hotep Nation, us as a group, for us it's more about the economics and the physical well-being of the black body. Mm-hmm. So I look at our community, man, and like I just lost an aunt to cancer last year. You know, I lost my great aunt last week. I lost my cousin in Florida, I believe Dade County, to gang violence. Mm. You know what I'm saying? So like I'm like I see all of this right here in my own family. It's not like a lot of these cats get their stuff from the internet or Twitter or something like that. Now my family is like I'm watching people die around me, so I'm very solution oriented. So it's about like how do we prevent the next generation from falling into the same mistakes? Mm-hmm. So I to make it also as simple as possible, but it's first it's about taking care of the vessel that your soul embodies. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And secondly is focus on the money and making sure that we're doing the right things with our money. You see everybody trying to divest from Gucci now, mm-hmm. and it's just like that's something I said back in the day. Like when I was a rapper. I burned my Jordans and my Nikes, and I made my homies pull their Nikes out. They ain't pull their whole kit out, but they pulled out some of their Nikes, and we burnt them in my video. You know what I mean? So, and this is way before like Donald Trump. This is way before Mike Brown. Like I've been on that divestment wave because I just see how much money our community sends these people, and I see how little we get in return. Mm-hmm. If we got something in return, it'll be a good business deal, you know what I mean? But it's not good business when it seems like they're just sucking us dry, you know what I mean?
Hell yeah.
So, we just want to teach people, how to manage their money, how to invest, and to build an economic base for the community. And then it's just like, with the whole Steve Harvey thing, it's just like, we talk about money a lot, but I think people get that confused and think we're all about the money. Because personally, I'm not. I think you can't build a nation without integrity. You can build a nation without money. It might not be a very strong nation, but you can have a nation without money. You can't have a nation without integrity. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a splinter cell group. Somebody can come in and infiltrate that at any time.
Anytime.
You see it happen in Africa. You see it happen in my homeland, Jamaica. Down there. People come, pay off a politician here and there, and next thing you know, paper signed, and they own a bauxite underneath the ground.
Right.
So, and that's what happens. That's why you can have a whole nation that's African. Everywhere you look, it's just black faces everywhere, and then you look at the paperwork, and it's owned by somebody that don't look like them black faces, mm-hmm. and it's because the nation don't have no integrity. So, I want people to know that first and foremost before anything.
Yeah.
The integrity goes without being said. And then on top of that is when you put the black body and then the black and wallet.
I have a question for you also. What do you think is the most common misconception that Hoteps get?
I think the period conversation, when they said you could stop your period.
Stop eating corn, my sister.
The thing is, when I don't like to hop in them conversations because that's the female body. But when I sit back and I watch the argument, I see female hoteps, they be like, yo, I really don't got no career. It be like, a light day here and there. But as soon as I start eating meat, it come back heavy. So I'm not going by rhetoric. I'm going by what women on that diet are telling me. You know what I mean? And they like, I don't get cramps. And the women that eat meat, they get cramps. So I'm like, well, your body trying to tell you something. Because a period technically isn't natural, it's hemorrhage. And we're the only species, women are the only species to hemorrhage like that. I think it's another set of monkeys that hemorrhage like that, and then another mammal. But you're not supposed to hemorrhage like that. It's not healthy at all, and I think that's the evolution of the womb as the earth becomes more and more toxic. I think her period is an indication of that when it's real heavy like that.
I don't know shit.
It's a bunch of
that.
You just told me mad shit, man. Cause what?
Mad shit.
Yeah, the period is definitely not. It's not natural at all.
The way he just said that, matter of factly, like
for real, like if you go look at it and be like, yo, if you like go Google it and see like who else has a period that needs blood like that, they tell you straight up like it's only women, only humans. There's a reason for that. But what else? What else is it? They call us white supremacists. They say we use white supremacist talking points.
Oh yeah. Shorty be saying that. The shorty who be making the videos be saying that.
We have to clear the air really fast, right? So what people define as patriarchy was something that was defined before Europe became Europe. There was a balance between the patriarchy and a matriarchy. The first concept of a king and queen comes from us in Africa, right? In Europe, you don't see that balance until you England and they have the king and the queen, but most of you have like an emperor or dictator. It's very patriarchal, right? So they say we use patriarchal or European concepts. What they don't understand is that the European got their concepts from us. So although they may reflect European, doesn't mean that the European is the originator of these concepts, especially when we talk about war concepts, because you have Hannibal, who's still stuck today in the United States military and militaries across the world. And this is a black war general. This is before guns was even a thing. He's still using his strategies, right? So they learned from us. We gave them the knowledge. I think when they see us speaking of patriarchy, they're missing is the matriarchy side. Mm. But every time the matriarchy speaks up, what do? They call them pick me.
Mm. Right? Oh
yeah, that's true.
So all they do is they silence the voices. And when you silence the voices, it's really hard to hear the voices. And it's really hard to see the full picture of what's happening, because a woman may want to speak out, but she's like, if I speak out, they're going to attack me, they're going to bully me. And so that's why you hear that many voices. Mm. That's what happens. She says something, and you say, oh, you pick me.
That is how that should be going, though.
And you know what's crazy is like they use weaponized a lot. They've literally weaponized that. Like pick me is like a weapon for them to shut people up, like from just disagreeing or whatever their point is. Like I've seen people throw out like some ridiculous shit, and then somebody hits them like, well, that's not the case, and they're like, look at this fucking pick me.
Right.
It's like yo, goddamn, like nigga.
Yeah. You can't have a fucking opinion anymore.
Yeah, facts.
Just have a good one, though.
Yeah, just have a good one. That's it. That's all that matters. My next question for you, bro. So in terms of the Hotep movement and I guess let's say end goals, what would you consider like y'all end goal? You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people think Pan-African's end goal is to ship everybody back to Africa, but that's not really our end goal. You get what I'm saying? Like, so what would you say y'all's is?
Well, considering the fact that we speaking over the white man airwaves, I can't really get to the specifics of the matter.
Right, exactly. No specifics.
World peace, to be real general. Mm. We want world peace. I believe that the African body is the guardian of Earth.
Right.
And I don't mean that from a supremacist point of view. a view of superiority over others. Look at our nature, how we are. Everybody's practicing nepotism, and we still want to share with everybody. We still trying to help everybody. Mexicans hate us. We want to build a wall. We over here worried about Mexicans shooting us up by the dozens in LA. Can't stay black folks. So I feel like I think that's an indication of the fact that our nature is very guardian-like. So that's not to say that we are superiority. I just think we're just a different archetype of some of the other entities that roam this earth, and that's the role we play. And I feel like until the guardians are protected, there will always be imbalance on Earth.
That's a fact.
We're one of the most natural things on Earth. You go see one of your black dark homies. Like that's original man shit right there, right? And it's crazy because you go read Popular Science. It's the white man's magazine. Popular Science says when you go take a look at the fungi, they did experiments with melanin and without. The fungi without melanin was pathetic. That's the word they use, pathetic. Now, that's not, again, this is not racist talk or anything like that. I'm just speaking about the biochemistry of the bodies of this earth and the reason why things are and the reason why some of them need to intermix with us to survive on this planet and why they're trying to dim the sun and commit some of these acts. So my goal is to save the earth at the end of the day, but I think it's a focus on the next generation above all else. Focus on these kids.
Yeah. Yo, I have a completely left question right now. This is completely left. It don't got shit to do with shit.
Alright.
So, you remember the eclipse that recently happened?
The who?
The eclipse that recently happened that everybody was going crazy for?
The solar eclipse?
Yeah. I was reading up on a lot of bullshit. You know me, I be diving into everything, right? And I came across a lot of things that was saying like the Black Rahu sun and shit like that. Do you have any knowledge of that or any truth of or do you think there's any truth to that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, moon theory.
Yeah, moon theory.
Oh yeah, a lot of different ways you can go with the moon. So the moon could be a projection. I don't really believe that. I believe the moon is definitely fixed to our Earth, right? They say. They say it's hollow. I believe that the moon is occupied. I believe that I call it moon people. Right?
I think the same shit.
Oh wait, hold on.
Darkness.
Wait, you broke up a little bit. Take it back.
He's breaking up, bro. Hold on.
I'm breaking up?
Yeah, you was breaking up a little bit. Take it back from.
Yeah. So yeah, the moon people. I believe there's people on the moon. I didn't just try to do something with the moon. But when you still with that space, there's something that's always just not right. Something that just doesn't always add up.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't believe what they say. You know what I mean? I met somebody that actually worked at NASA, and he basically, like, under his breath, he was like, "Yo, bro, that's just a marketing project."
You know what's crazy?
All the images coming out of it is Photoshop.
Oh yeah, first of all, they never really took pictures of like planets. Like they usually
I've been hearing that.
Draw that shit like based off what they think the shit looks like. And then when they find new planets, like it's not like from a telescope. It's like they send like noises out, and if that shit cuts a certain frequency, then they find out a planet is there. The moon is weird because they at NASA call it a satellite because it does not rotate. It just faces the Earth and like it moves around us, but it doesn't spin itself. It just stays fixed and rotates around us, and that's fucking weird.
Yeah.
But the dudes who went around the moon, they say shit was spooky on the other side.
Shit. Yeah, on the dark side of the moon.
They literally said that shit got spooky on the other side.
Word?
Yeah, they did, and you can look this up. Like they talk about the dark side of the moon. Like they said that they've sent like satellites and rovers and shit, and when they take like pictures of you could see they have like these weird it looks like structures
Dang.
and I was like, yo, that's crazy.
There's countless astronauts who have been out to space who have wild stories, and they just get sent to stupid TV shows for us to look at them like they stupid still.
Yeah.
But I'll be looking at them like
they know something.
Nah, he saw some shit.
Yeah.
He saw some shit. Boy who landed on the moon. What's that? Buzz Aldrin?
Yeah, he saw some shit.
He saw some shit.
He also sold his integrity as a white man.
He probably did.
He was with it because he literally he just be around, nigga.
Yeah.
He just be like, fuck it, man.
Nah, but he saw some shit. He did a couple documentaries on it.
Yeah, he saw some shit, man.
But they were saying that. But what they were saying is that it wasn't the moon, right? This is the theory or whatever that what really supposedly really happened. That it wasn't the moon. That there's a third planet or sun in our atmosphere, and it's called the Black Rahu sun, right?
Okay, that's the theory.
Okay. That's the theory that they were saying, that it wasn't actually the moon, but it was this sun that actually comes by that doesn't usually happen.
They have some shit.
This is the shit that I believe.
I don't know how true that is. That's why I just wanted to ask if I heard about that.
I believe that the truth about space, a lot of us will never know because most civilians can't handle that.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Most people...
most of the people in NASA can't handle it.
Because most of them people... Yo, listen, I think only people that can handle crazy shit like that is it's going to sound crazy, but black people, man.
Yeah.
We experience the craziness of life every day.
Already.
And that shit regular.
It's regular, son. It's regular.
So if we found out today that, aliens is real, niggas would just be like, wow, that was an alien we saw when we was passing the 7-Eleven that day.
Yo.
Okay. It wouldn't be no crazy shit.
Nah, it wouldn't. My bad. That was mad left field, but I had to ask if y'all heard about that shit.
I read on that.
I've heard about the Nibiru shit like that.
That's what I'm talking about. The Nibiru Black Rahu.
It's basically they said it's another Earth that basically left our solar system, and they said that they feel like it's coming back.
All right, I got a question. I got a question for Hotep.
Yeah. How
bullshit is that Chase cryptocurrency shit?
Yeah, they it's not even a cryptocurrency. It's just a digital currency that they're using. I mean, the value of it is tied to the U.S. dollar, so it's not like you can invest in it.
Yeah.
They're just using blockchain technology to better service their vendors overseas. At the end of the day, but it's not like a cryptocurrency.
Oh man, I knew it was bullshit.
I never even heard of that till just now. What is it?
I had he had tweeted you had tweeted that link about it, right?
Yeah.
He had tweeted a link, and I was like, but this doesn't the link. I retweeted the link this doesn't even make sense because the point of cryptocurrency is to not be backed by money.
Yeah.
So that was just I just was like, this is dumb.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
It's fucking hilarious, actually. But it's why would you want your, I guess, cryptocurrency tied to the American dollar, which the dollar doesn't have no actual worth, and the reason why you need cryptocurrency is because the American dollar ain't worth shit.
It's like no matter how much we say that or anybody says that, it's they won't believe it until they go to the Federal Reserve themselves and see that this shit is empty.
All right, I got one more question. So I'm definitely not about to ask for some rebranding or whatever. But what do you think that Hoteps could do better to probably reach more people? Or do you think that the way you guys, yeah, to probably get
I think we got to step up our public appearances.
Oh,
okay.
We got something coming up, I believe, March 9th or 19th with Mars Torre in Brooklyn. So that was really my goal this year, was to be more out there.
Yeah.
Do more speaking engagements, more shaking hands and kissing babies.
Okay. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's actually a good answer. All right.
Yeah, definitely seen you out here more as of late. Seen you on a couple platforms.
Oh yeah. Yo, speaking of which, I got simple questions so we can clear up the bullshit because I know the truth. A lot of these people don't know the truth. Are Hoteps Republicans?
No.
Thank you. Now,
that's no. That's
Go ahead.
That's like a weird ass statement. I hate when people say that too. Can a Hotep be a Republican? He can be, but they're not synonymous.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could be a Hotep and you could be a Democrat. So for example, right? You got the city of Detroit and you got Curtis Spoon. Curtis Spoon was working with a politician out there. He's a Democrat. Mm-hmm. If I'm out there and I want to push this black guy in who I know is going to be pushing this Hotep ideology to the community and really help sustain the community, I don't care if his platform is Democrat or Republican. I'm voting for the dude. I'm trying to work his campaign. So he's Democrat. All right, so I'm ready to Democrat in that lane. Yeah. But I didn't vote. I don't vote in the national election. Right. You know what I mean? I might vote for Trump in the next election just to troll people, but that shit is just really a distraction for me. It's are you gonna use the parties for what they're for? Because really they're just you set them up almost like a trust, and you have people donate to them, and you have PACs that donate to them, and you create this revenue stream. So you can use the DNC, you can use the Republican Party for the tools that they are. Mm-hmm. So I don't want my response to say I have a problem with these agencies. Right. I think these things are just really just parts of a system. You know what I mean? They're not really too biased. Right. It's business at the end of the day, but our political affiliation would be considered Hotep. We more about, it's we over here, everybody worried about your affiliation with the white man system, but it's where's your system? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's a fact. Stop worrying about our affiliation with their system. Let's build our system. At the end of the day, whether you left or right, you still in the white man system. So what does it matter? You can't say because I'm Republican, I'm different from you. No, nigga, we still in the same European game. Right. We both guilty.
That's a fact.
Right.
That's a fact.
Right. Right. You gotta play the game to play the game, my man.
Go
ahead.
That's pretty much it.
All right, cool. Y'all got any more questions? Because we're gonna get into some final hate.
Nah, we can get into final hate.
We got
something to say. Nah. Yeah, final hate.
All right, so our last segment is usually called final hate, and what we do is we just talk about the shit that you hated this week or the shit that pisses you off in general, and that's just the final hate. So, Palm, final hate, my brother.
This week, today my final hate is gonna go to just the whole whatever the Knicks fans call themselves.
Wait, what you mean?
The people that just think the crazy shit. The people that think y'all gonna get Kyrie
and KD, and then Jimmy Butler,
Anthony Davis coming too. All those people, all the people that say the crazy shit. This a new front office. I don't know. Get a black guys a chance. They still working for the Knicks, so I don't trust them. Mm-hmm. They scared. They decisions making skills are scary to me. I just need y'all to chill. Give it time. Right. Let it play out. Relax a little.
Facts.
Y'all acting like Steve Harvey. Just chill. That's it.
My final hate is I just want to speak to the Asian community.
The Asian community.
Y'all train etiquette, man. We got to talk about it.
Yo.
Oh, man.
We got to talk about it, man. If you see an elderly going for the seat, you don't race them to the seat. You allow that elderly woman to go to the seat. If you see any human about to sit down, you don't cut them and sit under them. That's just rude. And then you wonder why these people be wanting to beat y'all ass. Look, bruh, you'll get there. We all. Not well. I didn't pay my $275, but y'all paid y'all $275. Listen, y'all gonna get where y'all going. Y'all need to relax because there will be hands and feet next time I see one of y'all push a black lady to sit down.
That's a fact.
So I need y'all to tell your cousins, your grandmas, and your uncles, relax. Okay, relax. Brother Colton.
I'm trying to think about like what my final hate should be. I was gonna use MTA, but that was just used. My final hate might just be, I don't know, just white people, man. The crazy part about white people, like that like it's not even like the things that I hate about white people, I also find very amusing. Mm-hmm. So it's like a very weird hate that I have for them.
It's like a love hate
because like literally like. White people taking over dance trends, like I really hate that shit. Like, and recently this dance has been hot, what and like
is that?
I don't know what it's called, but it's just this basically. That's it. That's all it is. It's like you fucking have a mini seizure, and white people have been running that into the ground, like just running anything into the ground. Hip hop, like fucking. Dancing, fucking just culture in general.
They're like that Richie P meme. Like they'll see some dope shit and pan around and be like, "I'm about to steal."
That's a fact, and they don't even do it good. It's like a bad parody of like whatever they think it is. Man. But since they run shit, niggas is buying it. So that's what happens, and it's fucking terrible. I just hate white people, man.
Fuck Gucci. Yo, Vibe High, you got any final hate, man? Hotep Jesus.
Yeah. What's that? ADOS?
Oh, I wanted to ask you about that. Yo, let's have a real quick conversation about that. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
Yeah, I hate that shit. That is more of, it's like doing the right thing in the wrong direction.
Right, exactly.
The problem with black people is we don't know our classification within law. Mm-hmm. We keep classifying ourselves as lesser than.
Right.
When you classify yourself as slave or associated with slavery, what kind of legacy is that?
Right.
If you look at the Arab community worked in the 90s to have their people classified as white under law in America. Arabs are considered white. They can cross off white on their application. I'd rather be able to cross off white than to cross off ADOS or slave, something like that, simply because white has nothing to do with skin color and has everything to do with classification, and that's something else that came from us in Africa, because in Africa,
does ADOS mean a descendant of slaves?
Huh?
Does ADOS mean a descendant of slaves?
Yeah.
What the fuck? That's a classification for
American descendant of slaves.
For us? Yes. Like how we was African Americans, but now we...
They want... All right, so I'll explain it like this. Let me get on camera real quick. They are classifying themselves... It's a case... They want to make a case for reparations. In this case for reparations, they decided to classify themselves as American descendants of slaves.
No.
Who wanted to do that?
So the person that got behind it, Hotep Jesus, correct me if I'm wrong, is she has a show called Breaking Bad, and her name is Yvette Carnell, right?
That sounds about right.
And just to give you a little history behind her, she seems like a bright lady. I think she has good intentions. But recently, she's been doing things to where I don't think she has good intentions. You get what I'm saying? Because there was attack on Pan-Africanism. That was very weird, right? So
explain it.
So they had an issue just with Pan-Africanism in general, like just Pan-Africans. It was just they just was going off like, they're not part of us. They classify themselves as African. We're not African. We're from America, and that kind of thing. So they wanted to separate themselves from Pan-Africanism. Okay. So for me, that meant, one, that in this case for reparations, they want to distance themselves from African. You get what I'm saying? So in this new classification, think about it. They removed African. They're American descendants of slaves instead of African American. You get what I'm saying?
This goes back to the Kaepernick shit.
So wait, people are really fighting for us to get reparations?
They're not actually fighting for us to get reparations. This is just it's a weird social media movement.
I'm just like saying, like, just if someone is trying to do that though, like, what
they're trying to do is they're trying to hold the Black Caucus accountable. People like Kamala Harris, they want to have their list of demands for the Black people in Congress. Which that's why I said they're doing the right things in the wrong direction.
Okay.
The number one problem with Black folks in America to this day is our classification. If you ask the Moors what our classification, anybody know what the Moors say our classification is?
Nah.
They always throw around that word sovereign, right?
Yeah.
Natural born, right?
Yep.
Indigenous. Native.
Right.
The biggest trick that was ever pulled on America was convincing Black people that the mulatto type cats are the true natives. No, Black people's, they always say, why don't we look like the people from West Africa? Because we have been here. We are natives. We are native to this land. We traveled from Africa thousands of years ago.
Right.
But we've been here.
Right.
If we wanted, and I think that's why they got Johnny Cochran out of here, because he was working on reparations, and I think he was going to have us classified as natives. Because you classify as natives, we all getting all this land. All this land come right back to us.
Yep.
And it's like, and that's why I say, like, it's kind of stupid to go and try and convince the system to create new laws when there's laws already in the book that you just take advantage of. All you gotta do is change the classification. Look, we want to be native. Now they got us American descendant. There's some new shit. It's like, no, go by what's in the book. The book say native, get this. Look, we natives.
Yeah.
That's it.
I mean, essentially we are.
We are. Yeah.
We are.
That shit is crazy though. American descendant of slaves. Like I don't.
Remember, I brought it up last episode, but very briefly.
But he right though, man. If we was classified as natives, like we getting all the land, bro. They can't give us no bread, bro. We be more in debt to China than we already are. Yeah, they'd have to borrow more bread.
Give us land. Give us the damn land.
Yeah, we go. You can't throw no bag at niggas right now. We just gonna buy.
White people money.
White people
give it back to the white people.
Right back.
Another quick question, because you said you was Jamaican. How? Because I'm Jamaican too, and I've heard that Jamaica as a country is in debt crazily to China, basically like the rest of the world. How in debt is Jamaica to China?
We were talking about that before, the whole integrity thing. The China, what China does is they come and they bring infrastructure. France does it too in Jamaica. They come and they bring infrastructure. They say, we'll build highways and hospitals. In exchange, we want this bauxite over here, or we want, this copper over here, or this land over here, or this water here, or this bay. They go for the long haul. We always go for the temporary quick fix. And that's how all the resources end up in other countries' hands.
China's pretty good at infrastructure.
Yeah.
If you look at Venezuela, very interesting story how Venezuela got destabilized. But Venezuela was killing it under Hugo Chavez. They were killing it with the oil. The economy was booming. Everybody was doing well. And then OPEC basically played the price game. And then basically bankrupted Venezuela to the point where they had to borrow from the World Bank. So once those World Banks come in there and you got that debt, just wrap.
Time to pay the piper. What do you know about this Haiti situation?
I saw something about it the other day. Jog my memory again.
Basically, Haiti has been in like constant turmoil recently, and the Haitians are trying to get their president out, and it's a big, I guess, civil. What would you call it? Civil beef right now on the land. I want to get it right. I'm gonna look this up right now.
Yeah, I think with situations like that, you got to be very, very careful.
Yeah, I wanna make sure
you fuck around and bring too much awareness to it, and the government goes, "Oh, you want us to do something about this?"
Yep. Let me see.
You know what I mean? And they go over there and they make it worse.
I want to get I don't want to get the CNN link. I need the real shit. All right, there we go.
Yeah.
Hold on. Al Jazeera. What you think about Al Jazeera?
I feel like Al Jazeera be getting.
I mean, if a Haitian is caught in the Dominican Republic after dark, might get killed.
So let's see. Protesters in Haiti say they won't back down until President Jovenel Moïse resigns. However, Moïse has refused to step down despite more than a week of unrest sparked by anger over corruption and soaring prices. I'm gonna get some more information. That's a good.
Why don't people in America understand that this is how democracies are run?
No, you gotta actually go do that homework.
Yeah,
the school ain't gonna teach you how they destabilize nations.
Yup.
That's that stuff isn't gonna be taught, and the man ain't gonna tell you. It's dirty deed, you gotta go dig that up. But the Haiti situation, take a look at the Clinton Foundation, how much bags of money they got off that whole Haiti situation.
Haiti hate them.
Oh man, how much money flew into that organization, and Haiti's seen what they say is like, I'm exaggerating, but it's like 2 houses got built or something like that. But it's just like
that's what they said, like 2 houses.
What they got in exchange for the hundreds of millions that they got off that project. But again, this ain't the white man's fault. I hate when we do that. This our fault.
Yeah.
It's our fault. It's us. You ain't got nobody to blame but ourselves, man.
Facts.
There's too many of us. We outnumber everybody on this planet.
On the planet, we outnumber everybody on the planet. Everybody on the planet. That's what people don't understand. There's more of us than it is of them. They just have the power, but they don't have the power because we got the numbers. The power's in the numbers more than it is in the structure.
Our numbers is our weakness.
Huh?
Our numbers is our weakness.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we can't. Everybody. Yo.
Now you're right.
If everybody said
enough,
fuck the bread for just a week.
Do it for us.
Like, a week. That's all it would take, bro.
That's all you need. Everybody just say fuck the bread for a week. I can go a week without going to the white man's job, using the white man's bus. I can go a week without doing all that shit. We can make changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But capitalism too strong.
It's too strong, man.
My thing is, we don't even gotta do a week, yo. We gotta do one day.
Yup. One day we can shake the country.
Next to niggas first week the NFL, and everybody walk off that field, and nobody tune in. This whole nation is shut down, man. Trump be handing out money out of back of his van to every nigga.
And real shit, that's a major point right there. Cause like when the initial like NFL boycott and all that shit popped up, I was like, if all these in my head, I always said like, if all these niggas just said, all right, yeah, fuck it, we gonna ride with Cap today, and all of the black players walked off, there'd be nothing but offensive linemen left.
Nothing but offensive
and the quarterbacks.
Who they gonna throw to?
There's a clip on YouTube of these Mexicans walking out of work.
Yeah,
one of them got done dirty.
Yep.
Yeah. The whole walked out. You know what I mean? Black people, if something happened to Craig, like, oh, what happened to Craig? We like, oh, glad it ain't me.
Exactly. That's exactly.
You don't got that solidarity, man.
Yo, that's exactly how it go. Yo, Hotep Jesus, thank you for joining us, man, in this conversation and being a part of this Black History Month conversation, man.
Yo, it's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. I had a lot of fun, yo.
Yo, you already know, man.
That's a fact.
Hey, Chan, and we out. You ready? Hey, 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 hey.